Happy December! I am back with another 5-minute video for Vlogmas, and today I want to recommend some of my favourite horror-esque podcasts for you. I will mainly be focusing on fiction and fictional stories, but there are some non-fiction ones as well. I quite like them, so hopefully you will find a new podcast to enjoy today if you're into podcasts. My favourites that I've been listening to for years now is actually one of those ones that are allegedly true stories. It's really well put together, really well done, and it is called Radio Rental, and it is hosted by none other than Rainn Wilson, who plays this character of Carnation, and you're brought into the podcast as if you're going into a video rental place and you're renting these stories, and the little interludes from Rainn Wilson are great. The stories are really well edited, there's a great soundscape to them, and they could be anything from someone happening to have met a famous serial killer, someone thinking that they've been seen a doppelganger, or ghosts, or just strange things that they can't explain, and they're always fascinating and always really well done, and they're actually told by the person that it actually happened to, so you get to hear their actual voice, and I just love it. I can't recommend it enough. Another one that is similar is called Odd Trails. Now this is made by the same guy who does the Let's Not Meet podcast. That one is just about terrible people that you don't want to meet again. Odd Trails is a little bit more alien, weird, supernatural, paranormal, unexplained kind of things, rather than just straight up real life people that you don't want to meet. The two podcasters do have a little discussion at the end and talk about strange things that have happened to them as well. That one is quite interesting. Jumping off of that, this guy's so busy. The guy who happens to be called Andrew Tate, but not that one, he has another podcast as well called the Time Radiocast, and this one is fascinating to me. They've taken old recordings of radio dramas, radio horror and weird fiction and stuff from like the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and they've remastered it, and you get to listen to these old fantastic stories. You're hearing Orson Welles' voice, and Hitchcock's in there as well, and there's some really creepy dramas, radio dramas in there. There's some fantastic acting, and obviously the soundscapes are fantastic as well, and it's just so fascinating to hear these stories and for them still to be so gripping today. And also they leave in the commercials as well from back then, and it just seems to be a lot of like car tires and stuff to do with cars, so I guess people are listening while they were driving perhaps. But I think that one is a great one if you're sort of burnt out on the newer podcast. This is just like a fresh kind of different thing that I think is great. So one that I only found out about recently is another one from Mahnke, and if you have heard of him before, he has a podcast called Cabinet of Curiosities, and he has another podcast as well. I don't think it's called Unexplained, but it's something similar to that. Cabinet of Curiosities I don't think has anything to do with Guillermo del Toro's TV series, just a great name. But he has a new one out, and the first season of 3 currently. The sort of host in this is Keegan, who of course fantastic actor, fantastic comedian. He did a comedy show with Jordan Peele. I love Jordan Peele, so of course I had to jump in on this, and it is specifically recorded with like a fantastic soundscape. There's audio panning, and it's best suited for headphones, and it just gets you right into the story. It's great. The first season is you are sort of this protagonist person who's come to this big manor, and Keegan is the groundskeeper, and he's showing you to each room, and there's someone in each room that tells you a story. But There's always a twist at the end of these. Second season is you're someone who's washed up on a beach on this little island, and this person takes you, and while they're getting you to a doctor, other people come and tell you stories. And the last one is a young boy who has been picking apples in an orchard for some money, and it's Halloween night in a very dangerous town, and he now has to get back home before his parents get mad at him before it gets dark. But of course he finds a lot of obstacles in his way, and he has a little dog called Arrow to get him home as well. That one has Clancy Brown, who you've definitely heard and seen of before, and he plays Mr. Krabs in SpongeBob, so you've definitely heard his voice before. I loved all of them. Fantastically written, fantastic soundscapes, and such creepy, weird and different stories, and each of them have like a little twist in the end episodes as well, so definitely recommend those. So if you've been looking for any new podcasts recently, you should definitely check those ones out. They're all just a little bit different, a little bit of something unique in them, and they're all done by people that I think are great, so definitely check them out. If you're looking for another video to watch, you can check out one of my other 5-minute vlogs here, and I shall see you tomorrow.